At 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We begin tonight with a spike in fatal crashes here in Connecticut. It was a dangerous weekend for drivers. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Police in two major cities are investigating a number of deadly crashes that happened in just the last few days.
Just this morning, 2 people lost their lives in Hartford, killed in a wreck that also sent 3 others to the hospital. And just moments ago, police released the names of the people killed.
Fox 61's Jake Garcia is in Hartford tonight with the latest on these investigations. Jake.
Well, Brent and Sarah, Hartford police are still trying to investigate exactly what led up to that deadly crash at the intersection of Main and Florence Streets earlier this morning that left 2 people dead and injured 3 more. Hartford police say the crash happened just after 10 Monday morning just north of downtown, marking the 10th fatal crash in the capital city so far this year.
The Toyota was traveling north on Main Street, attempted to turn left onto Florence Street when it was T-boned by the Mercedes, which was traveling south on Main Street.
Investigators say 28-year-old Dulce Reyes was the passenger in the Toyota and was pronounced dead at the hospital. And the driver, 61-year-old Angel Santiago, died from his injuries a short time later. The 3 passengers in the Mercedes are expected to be okay. Investigators say while the crash was captured on a city camera, they are still trying to determine just how fast the car was going at the time of the crash, but say both were wearing seat belts.
I'm told that both people inside the Toyota had them on. They know they had to cut them to bring them out to begin life-saving measures.
Over the weekend in New Haven, police there are investigating after a 3-car crash left 2 people dead and left several others injured. Police say the crash happened just before 2 a.m. Saturday in the area of Middletown and Barnes Avenues. Investigators say when they arrived, they found 2 cars with heavy front end damage and another car with minor damage to the front, and a number of injured people, some with minor injuries and others with life-threatening injuries. Police say 1 person was pronounced dead at the scene. Later in the day, a 2nd person passed away from their injuries. Police say it's still too early to determine what caused the crash.
Any crash, where someone dies is one too many. We want people to be safe when they're out there.
Brookhart says the city has seen a number of fatal crashes this summer and says basic safety precautions can go a long way in saving lives.
Stay off your phone, keep your eyes up, obeying the speed limit, seat belts. If you come to if your light is turning green, give it an extra second, just to possibly avoid someone running a red light and crashing into you, and just drive defensively and be aware of your surroundings.
And both crashes remain under investigation tonight, and there's still no word on if any charges will be filed in either of those cases. But according to data from the Connecticut Department of Transportation, this year is expected to surpass 2022 as the deadliest year on Connecticut roads. Reporting in Hartford, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Jake, thank you. Time for now for a first check on the weather. If you were outside today, it was dreary out there. Steady downpour most of the day. The rain didn't stop people from enjoying the outdoors, though. Check out the crowd here at the Paul Brown Monday Night Jazz Performance, the free event put on by the Hartford Jazz Society. It's the oldest free, continuously run jazz festival in the United States.
Brave people out there, yeah, because the rain was a little bit off and on all day. Meteorologist Ryan Breton in for Rachel tonight. So Ryan, how long is the rain expected to last?
Well, we're actually in pretty good shape going forward. Nice to see that some people are able to get out tonight and enjoy the break in the rain. You can see the big swirl here over the northeast, and there are some thunderstorms up over northern New England right now. But for us, we've actually started to dry out. Still one more shower coming out of the Berkshires that may make it into northern Connecticut, but otherwise it's just mild and muggy out there right now. Temperature is up around 70, as is the dew point, upper 60s to near 70. So it's another warm and muggy night, and I think because of that we'll have low clouds and some fog that forms toward daybreak tomorrow. But notice the rain by tomorrow morning is to our north. And overall, tomorrow is actually a pretty good day. The clouds will move out. We'll have some sunshine developing by noon, and most of the rain tomorrow should stay to our west. There may be a random pop-up shower, but much of the day tomorrow will be dry. Will be a bit of a gray start, though, then a mix of sunshine and clouds by afternoon. A warm and humid day with highs in the mid to upper 80s inland, lower half of the 80s at the shoreline. More rain comes in for Wednesday, though. We'll have the timeline on that coming up in about 10 minutes. Back to you.
Ryan, thank you. Tonight, police in Naugatuck are releasing new details about their investigation into 2 bomb threats made against retail stores in town. The first call came in at 3:45 this afternoon. Employees at the Walmart on New Haven Road were told an explosive device would detonate in 2 minutes. That store was evacuated. By 5 p.m., a K-9 team had cleared the building. And during that investigation, a similar call was placed to the Stop and Shop on Rubber Avenue. That store was also evacuated. The same team searched that building and determined it was safe by 5:45 p.m. Police are still investigating who placed the calls. If you know anything, you are asked to give police a call.
Tomorrow, a Clinton babysitter will face a judge. She's accused of running a 2-year-old boy over with her car after he fell out of the back seat. Thankfully, the toddler survived, but he was seriously injured. Police say Maria Santiago was turning onto Sunnybrook Lane when the 2-year-old opened the passenger side rear door and fell onto the road. Seconds later, he was run over and was under the right rear tire when the car stopped. Police say child locks in the car were not activated and the 2-year-old's car seat was not properly secured. Police say Santiago was babysitting 3 children, ages 9, 4, and 2. She also allegedly left them home alone while chicken was boiling on the stove. Santiago is facing 4 counts of risk of injury to a minor and more.
Well, a Pennsylvania man remains in custody here in Connecticut tonight. Police say he broke into a state office building in Hartford yesterday. 43-year-old Christian Gonzalez was in court today, accused of breaching the state building where the Secretary of the State and the Attorney General's offices are located. State police claim to have witnessed Gonzalez force his way into a high-voltage electrical conduit area. The public defender representing Gonzalez asked the judge to reduce his bond today. The judge declined.
I find probable cause based on the police report. The crime with which he is charged, or the crimes with which he is charged, are very serious intrusion into public property and a risk to the public and to the state office employees who work in that building. So I'm going to concur with the bail commissioner and set bond of $50,000 cash or surety.
Gonzalez is reportedly homeless and resides in Shillington, Pennsylvania. It's unclear how or why he traveled to Connecticut. The defense for Gonzalez said he has serious substance abuse issues and is seeking treatment. He did not enter a plea today. Gonzalez is due back in court in September.
We have just learned a man under arrest, wanted in Arizona, was a former Connecticut swim coach. Police are naming him a fugitive from justice. He's wanted in Arizona on nearly 20 counts of voyeurism and attempted voyeurism. David Ladowdy was arrested by the U.S. Marshals in Newington this morning. In 2023, he was under investigation in Arizona, where he was working as a swim coach. He previously worked at Mandel JCC in West Hartford. The allegations he's facing come from his time in Arizona. He'll eventually be extradited back to Arizona to face those charges.
Well, new tonight, grocery stores are pulling more food off the shelves. Nearly 20 types of vegetables are being recalled over concerns of listeria contamination. Those vegetables were sold all across the country, including here in Connecticut.
And just last week, you might remember Big Y and Stop and Shop delis temporarily closed for a deep cleaning. Listeria was also the concern then. But tonight, the concern is over vegetables and dips sold at Aldi and Walmart.
Fox 61's Kaylee Collins spoke with local shoppers about the issue. So, Kaylee, how are people reacting to this tonight?
Well, Brent and Sarah, simply put, they are worried, to say the least. Last week's listeria outbreak got 34 people sick and did cause 2 deaths. And now shoppers are faced with another potential listeria outbreak, this time involving produce. As you said, people getting their groceries say they're on edge about possibly coming in contact with a potentially deadly foodborne illness.
Shoppers beware. You might want to double check any produce packed into your shopping cart recently.
I don't like to hear about anyone getting sick.
Nearly 20 kinds of vegetables sold at grocery stores across the country, like Walmart and Aldi, have been recalled due to a possible listeria contamination.
Hygiene is important, not just for you, for your food.
Over a dozen states, including Connecticut, are being impacted by the recall, which is an expansion of a previous recall of cucumbers that had possibly been contaminated with listeria. Weir's Farm of Willard, Ohio, expanded its recall to include a number of vegetables and bagged salads. According to the FDA, the impacted food items were packed between July 5th and July 12th. Consuming food contaminated with listeria can lead to a serious infection called listeriosis. It's especially dangerous for pregnant women and the elderly.
No, I've never had listeria, thank God, but I know people who have, and it's not something that you want to have in your body.
This outbreak comes on the heels of last week's listeria outbreak involving deli meats. Stop and Shop and Big Y had to close their deli counters for much of the day when they found out that their products could be the source of this outbreak. Now, shoppers have another reason to watch out before they check out, though some are thankful they have homegrown options.
I'm grateful that I grow my own. Just the sense of accomplishment, but I know where it comes from. I sort of know what's in the soil.
Now, we do have a link to the FDA's full list of the impacted products along with their barcodes available at our website, fox61.com. Anyone who has eaten potentially contaminated produce and experiencing symptoms should seek medical attention right away. In studio tonight, Kaylee Collins, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.